Okay, so Lively's team has already responded to Baldoni's $250 million lawsuit against the New York Times from earlier this week, saying nothing in this lawsuit changes anything about the claims advanced in Miss Lively's California Civil Rights Department complaint, nor her federal complaint. The New York Times also says it plans to vigorously defend against the lawsuit. We've got a fight on our hands. It's a lawsuit that happens to mention our next guest, Perez Hilton. He may be the internet's most famous gossip columnist. He is the editor-in-chief of PerezHilton.com, which is one of the world's go-to sites for celebrity news. This much we know. Welcome to you, Perez. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Let's start at the beginning. How and why are you mentioned in Justin Baldoni's lawsuit against the New York Times?
Well, we have to go back to summertime 2024. After a very tenuous film shoot, Justin Baldoni was nervous about the film's release and things that could come up, especially after he observed that some of the stars of the movie unfollowed him on social media, as did Blake Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds. So around the time, shortly before the film was going to come out, he retained this crisis PR expert named Melissa Nathan. And before the film's release and during the release, Justin Baldoni was consuming so much media. He was obsessively watching what people were saying, both in traditional media and in social media. And he shared an article that I wrote and texted it to his crisis PR expert, who texted back to Justin Baldoni saying, "He's a troll, he's a loser, nobody pays attention to him." Well, look at me now on News Nation talking about this. I would say Melissa Nathan is not accurate with her assessment.
You know, I absolutely agree. Let's say that Baldoni's team actually releases all those text messages with Blake Lively. What do you think they are going to show? Do you know anything?
Well, they've already released some text messages in their lawsuit against the New York Times. They show a lot. Blake Lively's first complaint and then subsequent lawsuit that she filed earlier this week had edited versions of text messages that, without added context, paint one picture. But now, when we know the full totality of what was said, for example, the crisis PR expert Melissa Nathan and his longtime publicist Jen Abel confirming, "Oh, I didn't plant that. That wasn't us." It changes the narrative totally. It seems apparent now, after I have poured through Justin Baldoni's lawsuit, to me that there was no smear campaign and everything happened organically as a response to what Blake Lively was saying and doing in interviews.
You know, there's a lot of hurt feelings on movie sets. This much we know, Perez. I mean, and just a real quick answer to wrap things up. I mean, how out of control is this? How unusual is this? Because I feel like there's always drama, but this is like going to the next level.
I would say what makes this especially compelling is, yes, there's always drama, but in this situation, there's so many players. It's Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. It's Justin's producing partner, his former publicist, this crisis PR expert, his current publicist. Taylor Swift is involved. Like, it's like a telenovela. And it's also, I think, a situation where people see themselves in it a little bit. You know, Justin Baldoni to many represents David, and Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are Goliath. So I feel like right now, social media is very much on his side, but he wants to clear his name in a court of law because these are some very heavy allegations that she's lobbied against him.
Right. Well, we've got to leave it there. I know that you're going to be on top of it. We can follow you for the latest. Perez Hilton, thank you so much for joining us tonight on News Nation. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.